Another sad, tragic discovery tonight as search crews continue looking for those missing after flash floods in Johnson County. But more help is arriving for people who lost their homes.
An Eastern Kentucky school trying to help flood victims in Johnson County now has to deal with flood damage in their own building.
A homicide investigation is continuing after a 64-year-old woman is found dead in her home.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. WKYT News starts now with breaking news.
And good evening. We are tracking down details right now about a shooting in Nicholasville.
It happened about an hour ago on East Chestnut Street near downtown. Police are still on the scene. We know at least one person was wounded. WKYT's Monique Blair is live in Jessamine County with the breaking news. Monique?
Well, Sam and Amber, it's a very active scene out here on East Chestnut Street and Jefferson Street. I'm told around 4:45 this afternoon. Officers were in the area and they were flagged down to this area. They were told someone had been shot out here. When they arrived, they found one male victim had been shot several times. They found him behind this greenish looking eclipse you can see behind me, but officers say they do believe he was originally shot a few feet back behind this pole. Now, right now, the victim has been transported to UK Hospital, and at this time, his injuries are unknown. But again, officers do say he was shot multiple times. Right now, no arrests have been made in this case, and officers are actively out here investigating, trying to determine exactly what happened, again, around 4:45 this afternoon. And of course, we are going to stay on top of this, and we will keep you updated as we learn more information. I'm reporting live in Nicholasville. Monique Blair, WKYT.
All right, Monique, thank you. State leaders call it a truly devastating natural disaster. Today, Kentucky's lieutenant governor and others toured the damage caused by deadly flooding in Johnson County.
And here's the latest. The coroner has confirmed that a man's body was found in the Flat Gap community this afternoon. The sheriff says he was in his early 20s. That brings the death toll to Johnson County to 3. Investigators say that 5 people are still unaccounted for, but they say it's possible that some of them could just be out of communication with friends and family. Rescue crews continued searching today after being stopped by heavy rain last night. Also, state leaders say FEMA will be in Johnson County by Monday to provide federal help. And donations continue to pour into Johnson County for flood victims. As Phil Pendleton tells us, people there say they're grateful for all the help. He has tonight's top story.
Johnson Central High School has become a grand central station of sorts in the aftermath of the flooding. It's here where people are simply coming to get whatever they need, and it's also here where Kentucky's lieutenant governor briefed us after witnessing the aftermath firsthand.
It's really good. It's good that people will donate stuff and help people out.
Nikki Pridemore is from Flat Gap, the area devastated by flooding she says is too terrible to properly describe.
As long as I've lived here, it's never happened. And I've never seen anything like this.
Words echoed by Kentucky's lieutenant governor, who saw the aftermath of the wall of water that destroyed almost 150 homes along the area.
To actually see such a long corridor of devastation that stretches about 7 miles, and the force of that water took out power lines, took out homes, took out trees, took out the infrastructure.
She says it's taken almost everything, but many people say what they have seen in the donation center has given them a lot of hope for the future.
Oh, I appreciate it a lot. You know, use anything we can get time like it.
The lieutenant governor says that FEMA will be on the ground Monday, and she says the recovery will be long-term and not short. In Johnson County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
The lieutenant governor says from what she saw, it was a miracle there was not a greater loss of life.
Help is also available for flood victims who can't make it to Johnson Central High School to pick up supplies. Volunteers are making supply runs to the Flat Gap community. State police are keeping people out of the hardest hit areas, so volunteers are taking food, cleaning supplies, and baby items to the Flat Gap volunteer fire departments.
Overwhelming all that's happened, but it's also just a blessing to be able to help these people.
Volunteers tell us the supply runs will continue for the rest of the week.
Many people around Kentucky are doing what they can to help those who lost their homes in Johnson County. Members of a Wolfe County Christian school began collecting donations yesterday. But last night, their building was damaged by flooding. As Sam Smith tells us, they're not letting that stop their efforts to help.
Cleanup is underway here at Bethany Christian School here in Wolfe County. Last night, floodwaters flooded the preschool's basement. I'm told the water was about ankle deep in spots. Folks with the school have been out here since 8 o'clock this morning, cleaning up and drying out the basement.
We have a lot of our preschool and daycare toys there, and some of them have taken on water and probably will have to be tossed.
They expect to be out here all day. The school's ball field and walking bridge were also impacted by the flooding. The school was in the middle of collecting supplies for the flood victims in Johnson County when this storm happened. They'll finish cleaning up here and then get back to collecting because they say this damage is not as bad as what those folks are going through.
No one here has lost their home. What we have here can be repaired and will be repaired eventually. Maybe not all today, but you know, the Lord has been very faithful to Bethany, and we are sure we will get everything fixed back.
They plan to drive the supplies they've collected to Johnson County tomorrow. In Wolfe County, Sam Smith, WKYT.
Some great people there. The school has flood damage in other buildings, but nothing substantial. The preschool building got the worst of it.
The National Weather Service now says a tornado caused damage in Fleming County last night. The National Weather Service says the tornado was an EF1, and they say the same storm also caused straight-line winds up to 100 miles per hour. The damage was along Cherry Grove Road and Harn Road near Flemingsburg. Some homes were damaged, including a mobile home with a family of 4 inside. Emergency managers say those people were taken to UK Hospital. They say the cleanup will take some time.
We've got good people here. People come out and help. You know, when something like this happens, you find out who your friends are.
As for the 4 people taken to the hospital, emergency managers say some of them had broken bones, but none of them were seriously injured. After days of severe storms, we are finally receiving a much-needed break tonight. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey joins us with an early check of the forecast and a break for you as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It has been a long week out there for a lot of folks across the Bluegrass State. Long couple of weeks, and today we're getting a drier northwesterly wind that is blowing into town. One of the ways we measure the amount of moisture in the atmosphere, it's called the dew point. And that northwesterly wind, look at the comfortable brand of air around. 60s around here, typical for summertime. Over the past several days, we've had those dew point numbers that have been into the upper 70s. That's when you get in trouble when you get rainfall. The more moisture in the air, the heavier the rains. That drier northwesterly wind also giving us temperatures only into the upper 70s. And boy, oh boy, do we need that chance to dry out. Rainfall numbers since the first day of June for some of the select areas across the region. Look at Harrodsburg, Mercer County. You're talking about greater than 17 inches of rain so far this summer. Knox County, a little over 15 inches, almost 15 inches. Jackson, Lexington Mesonet site, 14.5 inches and more than 14 inches into the capital city of Frankfort. Absolutely astounding rainfall numbers over the past 6 weeks here across the Bluegrass State. Defender with nothing on it, that is certainly welcome news. What we are tracking that's not that welcome, though, a lot of steam and even some storms that are back into that forecast as we head toward the weekend. We'll fire up the hour-by-hour forecast in just a few minutes.
Chris, thank you. Tonight we are learning more about a Lexington woman police say was found dead in her home. Investigators now calling it a homicide.
This afternoon, the coroner identified that woman as 64-year-old Shirley Clemens. Investigators say that family members found her body last night in her home on River Park Circle. Victor Puentes tracking the investigation tonight.
Lexington police investigators were back at Shirley Clemens' home this afternoon after the Fayette County coroner had released her cause of death. He says the 64-year-old died of asphyxiation. Neighbors tell us they knew something was wrong when they saw police filling their street Tuesday night. Police say Clemens' family went to the home after they hadn't heard from her in more than a day. They discovered her body and called police. Clemens' neighbors tell me she was a cornerstone of their neighborhood, keeping in touch with everyone who lived on River Park Circle.
She was so nice and kind. She was real easy to talk to. She'd always holler at you, like a good neighbor.
Police stayed outside of the home overnight, making sure the crime scene wasn't disturbed. Neighbors say they hadn't noticed anything strange, although her car was gone when police arrived. James says Clemens had several children, including a son who lived in the home with her.
All of us here in the neighborhood will feel her loss. She's been a constant friend throughout the entire neighborhood.
Lexington police haven't released a motive for the murder. In Lexington, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Clemens' death is Lexington's 12th homicide this year.
New tonight, the State Office of Drug Control Policy released some disturbing statistics about overdose deaths in Kentucky. The office's report says 1,087 people died of overdoses in Kentucky last year, up 77 from the year before. Nearly 30% of the deaths were heroin overdoses. Jefferson County had the most overdose deaths of any county last year with 204. Fayette County had 112 deaths. That is up 26 from the year before. That was the largest increase in the state. On Monday, a WKYT investigation looked at how state and federal leaders are trying to combat drugs in Kentucky. Many coroners are now conducting autopsies for overdose deaths after a request from the U.S. Attorney's Office. Prosecutors hope that will lead to more drug dealers being charged. You can watch our investigation by going to WKYT.com.
New tonight, a man had to be rushed to the hospital after his car hit a tractor trailer in Lexington. It happened about 3 o'clock this afternoon on Winchester Road at the Industry Road intersection. Police say the driver of the car ran a red light and hit the tractor trailer. But firefighters say they had to use the jaws of life to cut the driver of the car out. They say he was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Winchester Road has since reopened.
It has been in the works for a while now. It looks like construction is about to begin for a new shopping development in Lexington. That's next.
And later in sports, Coach Mark Stoops and some of the UK football players talking about the upcoming season at SEC Media Days.